who's been in my channel for quite a long time knows that I give a lot of attention to the women of gaming, be it through a waifu list, through like a sister or brother list, through a child list, that sort of thing. However, I never really gave that much attention to the dudes of gaming, so here is this video, my favorite male characters in gaming. Now this is Retops 3, and Retops 3 originally was a favorite game characters in general. But for the sake of this video, I'm only going to do the dudes in gaming. And I'm going to do a favorite female game characters list as a separate video. Again, nothing to do with waifus and the like. So just favorite game characters for the sake of it. But right now, for the guys. Now, one thing needs to be said is that this list may change over time due to me playing different kinds of games. But for the time being, this will be the list of my favorite male characters in gaming.
Me? A minifigure?
Yeah, but they're planning to increase sales by only sticking a few of your figures into snacks.
So they think my minifigure will be popular.
Huh?
I like that. Ah, yes.
Number 10, Meta Knight, due to how awesome he is. Look, it's really simply that, because Meta Knight's the kind of guy who he wants to fight you, be like, okay, let's go. And you'll be completely satisfied because this guy's awesome. I mean, he has a cape that turns to wings, he has a mask that covers most of his face, he has a little sword that makes him completely destructive. And again, at one point he was kind of ridiculous in Brawl, but when I played Meta Knight Brawl, I couldn't handle it, but now I could in 4. But also, Meta Knight's the kind of character who will help out Kirby whenever he needs to. Granted, he goes like to duel with him, yes, but when he's not off dueling with Kirby, he's off helping him. So that's kind of cool for Meta Knight. I mean, yeah, I don't have any friends or know anyone who would be more like Meta Knight, the kind of rival character, so to say. But hey, he's the kind of guy who will be reliable when you need it.
Hello there. I've been so looking forward to your arrival, Kitty Cat.
Hades! Hades! Hades!
It's on!
Number 9, oh boy, this guy, Hades. Now, Hades is hilarious. I mean, yes, he's the most evil thing in the Kid Icarus universe, and heck, a lot of other universes if you think about given the stuff he does. But at the end of the day, this dude, when he opens his mouth and it comes out comedy gold. So this guy comes out gold. He has an evil department, but also in the hilarity department. That's it. It's like he makes the final battle really more interesting. Yet there are a lot of villains, but there are a lot of like really boring villains and villains that don't really suit the player character or serve anyone else. But this guy, it's supposed to be the serious guy, but Hades, he's completely hilarious. He's like the Joker, and actually funny. But speaking of Pit, yeah, I do like Pit, I do like Magnus, I do like Dark Pit. They're all really interesting characters in their own right. Like Magnus, for example, like having to deal with being a normal person in a godly fight. And Dark Pit for just being there, really, considering how he came to be. And Pit, yeah, he's cool, and it's kind of hilarious. The point is, make some hilarious references, but like Hades, though, he's funny. And I like funny, so he's up here.
뭐가? 어떠셨지? 옆에 보이모. 너는 늦었어, 스스로를.
8, the main character of my namesake, so to say. Captain Olimar. Because Captain Olimar was among my favorite characters in general back when I started the channel and made the original Tops 3. But in here, he's 8, mostly due to other characters taking up that slot. But Olimar, the stuff he does and the reasoning why he's doing the things he does, I guess you have to like, but again, mainly due to, well, I like playing as him. That's really it, because mostly I like playing as Olimar. And yes, there's another character in this list that is really there because I like playing as him. But hey, when you have Olimar, you can do his thing in the outside, I guess.
Wait, so this is...
Tiz! Tiz! Can you hear me? Tiz!
Oh, Idia. Good morning?
For a legendary hero, you're a pretty down-to-earth guy, aren't you? That's our Tiz! He hasn't changed one bit!
7 Tiz! Now, I made a separate Tots video of my favorite default characters and why Tiz is on that list. So I'm gonna go watch that list and see why he deserves to be among my favorite game characters list. Not much else needs to be said, but in general, he's the kind of guy, yes, he has a boring backstory considering, you know, kind of generic, but as he progresses, the kind of character that you would like, including his relationship with Anya's and the other characters in his party, even Brady's second. And then, yes, Denny and Yu, they're both really good characters, and they're both on that list as well. So you can give the reasons why I picked those two on that list, and considering for this list, but for Brady's default and Brady's second, Tiz is my favorite character, because all the reasons I'm gonna say on that list. So not much else, moving on.
Mamma mia. Oh, oh,
Six, Luigi! Man, when you got someone who is reliable and who can just be there even though you're scared of nearly everything, you got Luigi. Heck, he had a year to devoted to Luigi. Like Luigi, yeah, Mario is more popular, but hey, nobody disses Luigi. Luigi's here as well, and he does his thing. I mean, granted, something's scared of the thing, but hey, when he's no longer scared of the thing, this guy's awesome. I really do like playing as Luigi. I mean, granted, maybe not in platformers due to, you know, Luigi's like being a lot more slippery or being kind of harder to control, because usually in those I pick Peach. But let's say in, I don't know, Super Mario World, where there are no differences between the two, I do like using Luigi. Mostly because I like green more than red. Also in Mario Kart, definitely I use Luigi a lot, so... If it weren't for Daisy existing, I would definitely pick a Luigi a lot as I made like Mario Kart dude. But other than that, I do like Luigi. He's a cool dude. Yes, I also like Waluigi. However, between Waluigi and Luigi, while Waluigi has a lot more personality, he's not in a lot more games, unfortunately. He needs to be in his own game, but out of the two, I do like Luigi more.
I blew it. What?
Five, more villain. We got Show from The World Ends With You. Holy crap, this guy gets me. Like, yes, Hades, when he spits out words, it spits out funny words, but Show, he spits out equations. This guy and his math stuff, I really like it. Like, yeah, the way he drives is like kind of a, well, I guess even compared to the other few standards, a lot more like a sluggish, but hey, he's cool. And the whole Zosetta slow thing and a lot of the memorable quotes, like, this guy makes a lot of memorable quotes. Like, I think I can remember more memorable quotes with Show than I do with other characters on this list. Even the above 4. That's saying quite a lot. This guy I get. This guy I get. So, not much more to say. This guy I get. Now, I like Neku as well. As a main character, I do like Neku from The World Ends With You. But when it comes to out of him and Show, definitely Show. He's cool. I like him.
Norian General, you face the High Prince of Hoshido, Ryoma. I challenge you to single combat. I will accept your challenge, High Prince. But I'm no general. I am Crown Prince Xander of Nor! Kya! Ha!
4. Now, this one will probably be a lot more volatile slots on the list due to having played every Fire Emblem. But when it comes to the Fire Emblem games I've played, none top Xander. Heck, even among the girls of Fire Emblem, I do like Xander. I mean, yes, Severa's my favorite Fire Emblem character, but like, he's like a very close second, even above Cordelia. That's saying a lot for how awesome Xander is. Because I'm gonna say right now, the short reason why I like Xander is when I use Xander, I use quality. Because when it comes to how good of a character he is, well, not in the story face is terrible, but supports and for gameplay purposes, Xander, he's on top. He is quality. Heck, even Fire Emblem Heroes, which is a freaking mobile game, where Xander's actually, you know, he has his lines, he has the personality, and even in a freaking mobile game, you kind of feel for Xander. Because he's there for the main villain, and he doesn't want, and even though you beat him, which normally translates to, okay, you can leave her control, but Xander stays. And if you play Fate, you kind of understand why this is the case. But even in Fire and Fates, stories sucks because due to how like terrible they portray Xander in the story, they keep making defending Garen despite the obvious. But whatever, doesn't matter. Support Xander is quality. Xander gameplay quality. Even the freaking mobile game quality. That's Xander. Yes, I do like Inigo and Owain too, out of the other dudes in Fire Emblem. But they work best together as, you know, their support conversations. They're the best together. However, individually they're okay as well. They're among my favorite characters in Fire Emblem. But together they're amazing. But when it comes to one character specifically, that's Xander. He's quality. Phoenix Wright, mainly due to all the nonsense you have to deal with and how you have to feel for the guy and ultimately come to respect the guy for the things he does and all the nonsense he has to deal with to, you know, to do the things he needs to do. Because, like, his job doesn't like allow him to do all the, you know, relaxing bits, because being a lawyer, I would assume to be a really tough job when it comes down to it. Especially since every single trial this guy has to do with murder, and murder isn't exactly the easiest subject to deal with. Even in, like, normal conversations, this guy has to deal with on a regular basis. So, and doesn't help that sometimes his friends, and I guess other loved ones, so to say, do get in trouble a lot, so he has to help them out. But again, his job, like having to make them, you know, not guilty of a crime, that's crazy. If you really think about it, that's crazy. I mean, when it comes down to it, Phoenix Wright is the kind of character you just have to love to respect. Cause, yeah, he does a lot of crazy stuff, but hey, he does it well. I mean, having to deal with, well, the first thing you know about him is his boss dying. So the first thing you know about him is that his boss dies, and he had to like take up her mantle and do the trial like that to be good immediately. That's respectable. So for me, Phoenix Wright, short story, he's a respectable guy, even more so than the top two in the list. But also, of course, you couldn't forget about Edgeworth. I mean, granted, I like Edgeworth as a character in Ace Attorney more than in Phoenix Wright, which is kind of like maybe questioning, if I like Edgeworth more as a character than Phoenix Wright, why do I have Phoenix Wright over Edgeworth here? Well, I guess you say that as a character in Ace Attorney, like when it comes to their standards, I like Edgeworth more than Phoenix Wright as a character. But because in general, like when it comes to take him outside of the games and make it in general, I'd like Phoenix Wright more than Edgeworth. So there's a reasoning. Now moving on.
So you came. The freak without a human heart. N.
Number 2, N. Now, he's my favorite character in Pokemon, and for some of you know this, yeah, it's kind of obvious, and yeah, he's really high up on the list for being my favorite character in Pokemon. Again, when you think about it, there isn't that much of a story in Pokemon. I mean, yeah, in Pokemon there's some story, like, I don't know, in, let's say, Sun and Moon, with the whole deal with the Ultra Beasts and the Team Skull and the Aether Foundation's, like, point in this, or, you know, Time and Pearl with the whole thing with Team Galactic. But when it comes to N, like, N has basically a story all to his own. I mean, granted, he's part of Team Plasma, like he's the head of Team Plasma, but there's like character development is onto him in general, not the whole organization that he's in. That's where like a lot of the problems with the story of Pokemon is. It's more focused on you beating the gyms and you beat the Elite Four, whatever, and along the way you stop the evil organization. But N has his own thing, because he could have a reasoning why N is like this. I mean, granted, a lot of the future Pokemon games, they kind of give a good reason why some characters are the way they are. Lysander, not so much, but when it comes to like Team Skull, you know that Team Skull are kind of a bunch of rejects, and yeah, you gotta kind of feel for them. And Lusamine, the kind of crazy yandere mom that she is, but maybe not yandere mom. Yeah, man, I'll call her yandere mom. I don't care. But the kind of crazy mom that she is, and her obsession with the Ultra Beast. But as you go backwards, you see this dude who's been raised by an evil dude who is convinced that, hey, humans and Pokemon don't exactly, you know, connect well. They aren't very compatible. So wants to help separate two. Little does he know about the real intentions of why. But hey, this guy's passion. This guy's passion, the things he does. Is it the right choice? I cannot say. That's because even if it's not, he's still stuck to it because he was born and raised with that notion. Therefore, he stays with this notion, which is, again, the reason why one of the legendary dragons chose him for it. Because, hey, he does this thing, he's committed to it, and you're committed to doing your thing, so eventually you have to cross paths and have to fight each other. So, the cool thing about Gen 5 stories is how much sense it makes, given, you know, it's you versus N and then the whole Team Plasma nonsense. But N is definitely a respectable character. Not on the levels of Phoenix Wright, however, in general, when it comes to, hey, a story with a series, not much story, for why he does the things he does, and I really do like you, so you're an amazing character. Heck, a legendary Pokemon chose him. You don't see that with other games. Heck, the only time you see choosing the trainer is really Ash for the anime and the player character from whatever game we're playing. You don't usually see that anytime else. So that's kind of an interesting thing to think about. But for now, you all know who number 1 is. And for those who have, just recently seen my channel and have know a lot about the series in question, you might be wondering why is he on the list. But here we go! Number 1 is a character that, for most people who are just entering my channel, were wondering why, and who is this guy? But for those who know me on the channel, you probably know right off the bat. Minwu from Final Fantasy II. Okay, so the previous list about the why he's on my favorite Final Fantasy character is still there, and go watch that. However, the whole point of it is that, think about it for a second. Yeah, his personality is, hey, I just do the thing I do, okay? I mean, yes, it's, for him, it's fate, it's destiny. I'm not that kind of guy who would do fate and destiny. Nothing is predetermined, but to him, it is. So, he just does things because he just does it. He just does the thing. Like, who needs doubt? Who needs, I guess, demotivation or motivation? You just do it. I mean, for me, I just do things I just do. I mean, I'm not exactly the person who likes to do really hard decisions. I'm not exactly the right person to do a lot of, well, I guess, yeah, it's decisions, but also, I'm kind of a lot more passive in that regard. I'm kind of a bit of a passive person, and I just do things because, hey, someone asked me to do it, so I just do it. I think that's kind of Minwoo's thing, too, because he just does things. But he has a lot of other redeeming qualities for why he's a really important character in Final Fantasy II, which in itself isn't exactly the best Final Fantasy. I know that, but hey, my first Final Fantasy was, well, technically it's 10, but I only played the beginning of it because, you know, I visited someone in New York. But I actually played to completion. My first Final Fantasy was the GBA port of Final Fantasy 1 and 2. So, hey, Final Fantasy 2 is nostalgic to me, as you can say that. You can just say it's nostalgic to me. But I do like Final Fantasy 2. I do like Minwu in particular, because he has a lot of personality that a lot of characters don't have. And plus, he's very helpful when he shows up. And he does a lot of things that you wouldn't expect him to do. Like, there was sacrifice himself to give you a useless spell. And, you know, just generally helping out, healing you when you need it. Or just whacking him with whatever weapon you have just to increase your own stats. But it's also kind of interesting of how he is referenced in other Final Fantasies. As a great stage, as a very important character. So if Square Enix keeps acknowledging him as a very important mage, then yeah, to me, he is my favorite video game character of all time. This guy. And yeah, you don't know much about him. But, hey, without him, there are a lot of things you wouldn't expect out of Final Fantasy in general. So, for me, he's my favorite video game character of all time. Minwu, you're always my man. You'll always be best senpai. Alright, so that is all for my favorite dudes in gaming. So, I will probably make my favorite females in gaming soon enough. But for right now, see you guys later.